So, hey, I got into a conversation. As some of you may know, yesterday I got into a conversation with my friend about how I'm going to do a G.I Joe and Transformers movie crossover thing. And she, with my OCs, and then she brought up the topic of how exactly am I going to make that work so well. And while I was thinking about the topic, I thought of something else too. And it's something a lot of people don't bring up too often. How coexistent are the G.I. Joes with the Transformers? Are they as coexistent as the Marvel thing, or is it just like a sometimes thing where it's a universal jump, or they only exist in a few universes together? There's even an old episode of G1 with Commander Cobra in it. There are even a few crossover comics. Even in Transformers Animated, there were some kids dressed up as Destro, Commander Cobra, this guy. Even one of all these video game characters resemble Snake Eyes a little. I mean, just look at the similarities in those facial masks. So, one does have to wonder, how coexistent are these two? Are they always in the same universe? And if they are always in the same universe, how come no one ever talks about them? Or are they always just kind of hush about them? With all the different versions of G.I. Joe out there, and Transformers, there's gotta be at least one that exists, right? Right, so I'm going to be telling you the few that I think would correspond and relate the most in the same universe. So here we go. As I mentioned earlier on, the similarities in the masks of the video game character and the Resolute Snake Eyes would make Resolute and Transformers Animated a pretty good combination to be in the same universe, right? Wait, Resolute? I mean, don't get me wrong, that movie's good and all, but it doesn't exactly seem like something that would go well with a kid's show. And I kind of mean that in a big way. Maybe Sigma 6 would be a better option. I mean, it does carry more of a futuresque feeling to it, right? Or maybe Renegades. As for Transformers Prime, I do believe that 2003 movie Spy Troops would be a good option. I mean, the backgrounds look very similar, and it probably takes place somewhere in Nevada or Texas or somewhere. I don't know if they ever said. I've never really watched that movie. But it would be an interesting option. And for the movie, there is little left to the mind for that. I mean, look at those exosuits. Is it just me, or do they look like little versions of Ironhide and Jazz? I do so love it when the source material does the headcanoning for me. And the same goes for for G1 and the old G.I. Joe's cartoons. Wait a minute. I just realized something. In that old episode of that Transformers episode, Only Human, where are the other Joes? I mean, Commander Cobra's in it, but not the Joes. Or not even the other Cobra agents, it's just Commander Cobra. Hey, wait a minute, you guys don't think that they're all